Happy Halloween and welcome to our bonus chapter episode. This is a previously recorded interview with #1 New York Times bestselling author Kaylie Smith. She joined us on our previous podcast to talk about Phantasma and then joined us again this past spring to talk about Enchantra. Some of the content has been edited from its original format just to fit the new podcast, but please enjoy our interview with Kaylie. We adored this book and had so much fun talking to her. Hello, everyone. We are your hosts. I'm Britt.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are bringing you a very special manuscript from the vault episode.
Yes, we have the honor of hosting the USA Today best-selling author of Phantasma and Enchantra, Kaylie Smith, once again. Welcome back, Kaylie.
Hi. I'm so excited to be back and chatting with y'all. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're so excited. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself for those who maybe didn't listen before?
Absolutely. So my name's Kaylie Smith. I am a fantasy and romantic fantasy author from Louisiana. I have been writing since I was like 13, and my, I guess, big breakout book came out last year called Phantasma, and it's been an exciting whirlwind.
We love it. And man, what a great series to really kick things off for yourself.
Yeah, it's been, I was like, wow, honored that people are reading this. This is so great.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is great. So we're very excited that you're back with us. And in this author chat episode, we're going to be chatting with Kaylie about all things Enchantra, creative process, what's next. Spoiler, if you guys have not seen, there's so much fun stuff in the pipeline for Kaylie. We can't wait. We're going to assign a song to the book. It's going to be great.
Yep. We will be talking about Enchantra in 2 parts. So first, a spoiler-free section for those of you who haven't read the book and want to know more about what to expect. And then a spoiler section where we'll openly discuss Enchantra. And we have a lot to discuss.
So much to discuss. We've been texting nonstop since we finished it. We are severely unwell.
Yes. The first time in a while I finished a book before Britt did.
Yes.
So
she was like, you need to finish this book. And I said, I'm sorry. How did you finish this book before me?
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. That's me and everyone around me. I don't think I finished before anyone these days. So
yeah, I unfortunately am mentally unwell. So I usually finish them very quickly.
I mean, as you read my books, same.
It's fine. It's fine. It makes things more fun. Just a little spicier. So we are going to go over trigger warnings and a synopsis for Enchantra. So Hannah, do you want to kick us off with some trigger warnings?
Yes. So we have pulled these trigger warnings right from Kaylie's website. So this book contains lots of blood, death, drugs, heavy alcohol use, light gore, and explicit sexual content that includes magically induced horniness. There is a brief scene that depicts on-page withdrawn consent that is not immediately acknowledged and may be triggering for some, and it is explicitly recognized. Wow. Recognized as assault by the characters.
I hate that I'm smiling during that, but Hannah has like a couple of words specifically that she can't say, and like institutionalization is one of them, and apparently explicitly is now another.
Yes, but whatever that word is, has come up so many times, like awkwardly, and I'm like, why is this in this book?
Oh my gosh. So. Wait, that's wild. I don't know the last time I've seen that word, actually.
It's been in like 5 of our outlines recently for books that we've covered.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And I think it's hard because like I'm a reader, so I know how to read it, but like in my head, I read it the way I just read it. Not out
it just
loud.
goes. Yeah. No, for sure.
All right. So then, Kaylie, do you want to give a synopsis of Enchantra?
Absolutely. Okay. So Enchantra is the sequel to Phantasma, but they're both standalones on their own. And where Phantasma follows Ophelia Grem, Enchantra follows her younger sister, Genevieve Grem, who kind of starts off on this journey to sort of find herself after the tragic events that happened in Phantasma. And she ends up at this enchanted palace in the middle of the Italian countryside where a very handsome but very rude man answers the door and tells her to leave. And Genevieve, being Genevieve, does not listen, and she ends up trapped in a magical game of hide and seek with this mysterious family. So
love it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I'm like, it's really funny because every time I see something, someone's like, "Oh, I think like you should read Ready or Not," or like, "I wonder if the author has seen that movie," and I'm like, "No, that is the entire catalyst of this whole entire book. Yes,
Yes.
for sure."
Yeah. That's what I think we talked about it when we talked about Phantasma, like what the inspiration was, and I had just watched that movie for the first time.
Yeah.
And since then I've now introduced it to several people in my life because I made everyone read Phantasma. So I was like, you must watch this movie to prepare for Enchantra.
1,000%. Yeah. It's actually like kind of my mission with this book is just to make everyone watch Ready or Not.
It was
As you
my
should.
mission. I got Britt to do it, so
Yes,
I think
Woo!
very
we're on a
true.
good track here.
We picked songs for the book. Kaylie, do you want to start with a song choice? And I'm sure you have dozens of them
Yeah,
for
I
Enchantra.
do. Okay, I have to say it was really hard to narrow one down that I was going to talk about,
Mhm,
but I do feel like I Know Places by Taylor Swift is
mhm.
like, I feel like the very, very obvious big one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna stick there. Yeah.
Beautiful. That was also one that we actually looked at. So Hannah and I did cheat a little bit. We picked a collective song between the two of us and then an individual one because we couldn't
Oh,
decide. So our
okay.
collective song is Stockholm Syndrome by One Direction.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
yeah. And then my individual pick is Willow by Taylor Swift.
I love that. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
And my individual pick is Sad, Beautiful, Tragic by Taylor Swift.
Also excellent. Okay, I really do try to like keep myself from putting too much of her on every single book playlist I have.
Yeah.
But for this book specifically, like Labyrinth, Treacherous, I mean, there's just so much
Yep.
that went into writing this one. And so, yeah, this is valid.
I had so many songs too, but I was like, I feel like I have to just pick a Taylor Swift song. So
Yeah.
You know, that's what it always comes back to for me.
all
Sorry,
roads lead back
everyone.
to Taylor Swift. And
Yep.
Yeah.
unfortunately, like I wish I could say that I'm sorry, but like I unfortunately only have merch on right now, so sick. So then we thought it'd be fun to get started with a little game that was played in Enchantra. Don't worry, it's not a major spoiler, but we are going to play two truths and a lie and try to guess for each other. So I
Love this.
struggled to come up with these. So
I can go first. I will say
perfect.
all of mine are like very strangely animal based, but I also feel like that also fits with Enchantra.
Yes.
If you know, you know, like when you read it,
Yeah.
that sentence will make sense. But
Love it.
okay. So my three facts are I have a scar from when I was bit by an ostrich. I have ridden an alligator, and I have ridden an elephant.
So here's the thing, like you're from Louisiana, so I feel like
Right?
like I'm not as shocked by the alligator fact. However, like I ever seen anyone ride an alligator besides the Irwin family? No.
Right? But if there's going to be a place, it'd probably be.
It's like
I don't
that
know.
or
I think the
Florida.
elephant.
Elephant, you think? I'm
Hmm.
also going to say elephant. I don't know why.
Okay, final answers.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
elephant.
Okay, the gator was the lie.
Aw.
Okay,
Although
figured.
Although we have, yeah, we have caught them in our backyards though. Like that is a very, very Louisiana thing.
That's
Um,
the only reason. But
Yeah.
I do enjoy that no one questioned the ostrich.
no,
Nope.
that was not even. I was like, yes, that makes sense.
No,
Yep.
truly, it's like on my finger. I have a scar because they like
Oh.
I was little. Yep.
Aw.
Oh my gosh. Mine are all like fandom based, So
Oh,
we're gonna start. So mine are I was obsessed with American Idol and went to multiple tour stops and met a lot of the idols. I have never seen or read Twilight, and I was obsessed with Taylor Swift and ran a TS Stan Tumblr for years.
okay, but I feel like that is so
I'm not gonna.
obvious that it
I can't
wouldn't.
answer it.
Yeah,
Oh, do
I
you
think
know?
Hannah probably knows this
Oh
one.
I
no.
probably know, so
Yeah.
I'll guess after you.
Dang. Okay. I want to say the Taylor Swift one just based off of the fact that I feel like that is so plausible. Like, is it like a technicality? Were you actually running like a Twitter stan account, not a Tumblr? You know, hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll guess the Taylor Swift one, but I will say
Mhm.
I mean, it would make sense, however.
Yeah. You
It's
are.
a
It is a
technicality.
technicality. You are correct. It was actually a One Direction stan tumbler.
Ah! I was like, I know this game.
Yes. So I went to like 8 or 9 of the American Idol tour stops, and I would wait outside with my little poster and like meet all of the idols as they would come out. And much to Hannah's dismay, I have never seen or read Twilight.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We have to discuss this. What?
Yeah.
But I also get it because like sometimes when you miss the moment of things,
Yes.
it's hard to circle back.
Yeah.
But I would pay good money to be a fly on the wall of someone watching Twilight for the first time. Like,
Like now,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I think we might actually record it for the podcast, like watching
you
Twilight
should.
together. Yeah, because I've never I've seen obviously clips, like I know what it's about.
Sure.
My friends were at the height of it, but I went into like my like HP Hunger Games Divergent phase while everyone was still in Twilight, and so I just never, like you said, I never caught on. Which is like Hannah owns how many Twilight shirts, how many like. It's her comfort
That's what my friends all
movie.
get. It's my personality, you know.
too.
It's just
Yeah.
That's how I started
get away from it.
writing. Yeah, I was gonna say Twilight fanfic. Like,
I was gonna say, me and my
Obsessed.
friends had a Twilight fanfic. We would go back and forth.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I wrote as Alice. She wrote as Bella.
oh
Yeah.
my god,
That's amazing.
I love it.
But yeah, I promise I'm gonna get to Twilight at some point in my adult life.
Yes, you will. Okay, mine are all like numbers based, so it's a little tricky here.
All right.
Okay.
I was lucky enough to get tickets to Taylor Swift in concert 7 times. I have seen the musical Wicked 8 times, and I have traveled to 6 countries outside the US.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, I know Hannah, and the numbers are even throwing me off, so this is gonna be a problem.
Is it the Wicked one? Wait, okay. I've been to every single Taylor Swift tour, so that is like so doable in my opinion.
But like, you're such a Wicked fan. I feel like that number seems outrageous, but I don't think it is.
That's fair. Okay. And then the countries.
Like, you could be off by 1. You could have been to 7.
See, this one's really, I was about to say that's really hard.
This is hard.
I'm gonna say you saw Wicked more. So I'm
Oh.
gonna say the Wicked one. Like what if you went like 9 times?
I feel like your Taylor Swift is off by like 1 or 2. I'm gonna go Taylor.
It's the countries.
Really? Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh,
I've only been to 5. Only 5.
of course.
Still a
Okay.
lot, but-
Off by 1.
But I had to be tricky with my Taylor Swift
Yeah.
like wording though, because I had tickets to Loverfest and London. But I
Okay.
didn't end up going.
Okay. I was
'Cause
like, Hannah,
that's what
I could have sworn you've
Don't
seen her
get me
5.
started.
I was like, I think she's seen her like 5 times. But you got ticket. You are tricky with that. Okay. Well, the Devils
I
would
tried
love
to stump you, Britt.
The Devils would love you with that word choice.
Right? The wording. The Scorpio
know.
in me, okay?
Yeah.
Oh
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful. We're going to move into the spoiler-free section about Enchantra, just catching up on a few things. So if you guys have not read Enchantra yet, because we know this episode is coming out right around release, you can listen to this part and then pause and come back to the spoilers afterwards. We already started talking a little bit about it, but can you talk a little bit more in detail about the inspiration behind Enchantra and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so I always knew that like there were going to be multiple books in the world of Phantasma. I've had them planned since like the beginning, and naturally Genevieve was going to be after Ophelia. And when I was thinking about the sort of game Genevieve would play, there was like a few like metaphorical things that came into it. I think hiding their feet, like just the sort of aspect that goes into her character of like finding herself. I thought that was like a really interesting play on that part of her story, but also absolutely like I watched Ready or Not. It is one of my top 3 movies of all time, and I just remember being like, okay, but they all kind of hate each other. Imagine doing this when you like genuinely like every single person you're like hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of where that whole just the entire idea that they're playing with their siblings,
Yeah.
who they care for dearly came from, because I was like, that's an entirely new dynamic, right? Like even in Phantasma, when people died, there could have been like I think if Lucy had died, Ophelia probably would have felt like a small pang of sadness, but they didn't know each other that well. So it's really not a big deal, but there's like a different sort of horror when you're watching siblings who very clearly love each other
Hmm.
have to kill each other over and over again. So, again, my sick, twisted little mind, I was just like, well, what if I just made it like the worst possible version of this game? So yeah, that's kind of what sparked the idea for her games. I always knew I wanted to do sort of an homage in that sense. And then also it's very like heavily labyrinth inspired too.
Hmm.
Like Genevieve's one of her dresses is straight from the Labyrinth movie. I've always wanted that dress and I was like, she deserves it. So
She does. Her dresses are amazing. We'll talk
I
about that a
love
little bit
her.
too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Can you give us the general vibe check between Enchantra and Phantasma, and how would you describe the difference to readers?
Yeah, so I think, well, obviously, Phantasma leans more horror romance than Enchantra does, and it's definitely like heavy-handed Gothic inspired, Victorian Gothic specifically.
Mhm.
But with Enchantra, the girls are just so different, and I really wanted the atmosphere around them to reflect them as characters. So I would say, like going into it, Enchantra is a lot more like magical. It has a more Baroque feeling to the atmosphere. It's a lot more like gilded and glittering and sort of like the illusion of like beauty and what it hides. Whereas I think with Phantasma, it was like very haunted. Like you knew there were insidious things under the surface,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
in Enchanter, it's slightly different. So yeah, I always tell people going into it, I think of these two novels specifically in this series of being like two different sides to the same coin. They're very much sister novels, and I think they sort of reflect Ophelia and Genevieve's personalities, like respectively.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And then can you drop a hint of a couple of tropes that readers can expect out of Enchantra?
So again, forced proximity, because I just love
So good.
that. But it's like marriage of convenience, which actually it was not originally.
Mm.
I talk about it, yeah, I talk about it sometimes, but like I don't go into books with a list of tropes I want to do.
Yep.
I think that's a really bad idea because I feel like it can end up making things feel a little contrite.
Yep.
Despite what I'm sure many Reddit threads say about me. Um,
Reddit is a
that
cesspool. We don't need to go there. We can stay away.
but despite those claims, I genuinely I like to see what sort of comes up. Like one of my favorite tropes of all time is the "you came, you called" trope, which obviously appears in Phantasma. I wrote published 3 other books before that, and I never used that trope because it was just not correct for the characters
Yeah.
or those stories. And when it's sort of the situation presented itself, and it was like the perfect situation for both the characters,
Mhm.
the setting, and the plot, the moment they were going through. It was like, oh, I have to do this. And when I was writing Enchantra, it was sort of a fake dating situation. I always knew they were going to have to pretend with each other because that's sort of the crutch of them being amicable at all because they don't really like each other.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
after I wrote the first draft and my editor and I started working on it, I was like, this is definitely marriage of convenience. Like, I can't even believe I didn't see this
Hmm.
upon first writing the book, but that's also why you do multiple drafts of a book. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that was really fun. I love Marriage of Convenience. Yeah, I think those were like the main ones
Yeah.
for me personally. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we're suckers
Ooh,
for marriage of
ooh,
convenience, fake
absolutely.
dating.
Force proximity. We love it.
So we know that there's more in this series, but do you have a personal favorite book that's either out or not released yet in this series?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Book 3, I think, is my favorite, or will be when it when I finally get through it. I'm in that stage with it where I'm like, why did I choose this job of all jobs? But we usually get we usually get over that by the time a book is coming out. But yeah, I actually do think book 3 is going to be the all-time fan favorite, which I know is like a really setting myself up with that one. But I also have to say I do love Enchanter, but my relationship with it is very different than Phantasma
Mhm.
because sequels are harder, and so it's like it was there's also like a lot of pressure with
Yeah.
Enchantra that I did not have with Phantasma.
Mhm.
So it's
Hmm.
like it's hard to say I have a favorite because like for me as the creator, though my mindset for both of them are vastly different, you
Totally.
know?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And then speaking of Phantasma, though, it was nominated for a 2024 Book of the Month Lolly Award, made it to the top
Wild.
5. Like, how was that experience for you? Because if you can see my shelves are lined with Book of the Month books.
I love
That's
it.
how I discovered Phantasma. It was one of the Book of the Month picks, and I read
Oh
it,
my
and I
gosh.
said, Hannah, this is my new personality. I have officially adopted it. I have the Waterstones edition over here. Like, we are in it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, I was honored that Book of the Month like included it at all. It felt like so strange because I know they don't do a ton of things with super heavy-handed, like spicy romance in the way this was. So I was just very honored to like be in their lineup at all. And then when it made it to the top 5, I think everyone was like, Phantasma's a choice. And I'm like, I agree. I was like, I did not expect this. Thank you so much. I mean, that is all readers. That is like all readers doing. I appreciate them so much. And everyone who's been so enthusiastic about sharing the book and talking about it, like incredibly honored. But for sure, I woke up that morning. It was like, what is going on?
No, it was so cool. Like, Hannah immediately texted me and was like, did you see this? And I was in the middle of screenshotting it and being like, did you see this?
Same time.
Just so good. So good.
Britt, I'll let you talk about this next one.
Oh,
'cause that was
yes.
something
Okay.
that you were.
So
noticed.
I was making notes. I'm pulling up my Kindle app right now. Obviously, we talked about Taylor Swift already and like Taylor Swift references. And because I'm me, I just naturally like gravitated toward a few of them. And I was just wondering, like, you know, I made note of a couple potential references. And obviously, I feel like a lot of times it is like a subconscious thing. But did you like have any of them that you were like, no, this is definitely like a pulled reference for me?
Sometimes they are subconscious. I think the one that's like the one about like the journey isn't really worth it if it's like safe. That was definitely, I mean, I have a nothing safe is worth the drive
Mhm.
tattoo. So for sure my tiny little homage here and there. But again, it's just kind of when certain things come up. I think it's Seven who says that. And it was just like in a moment where he was going to say something like that anyway.
Mhm.
And so I was just like, oh, this is like a fun little tie-in to my personality. Some people hate it, some people don't. Some people don't notice it.
Yeah.
I just sort of like write whatever I'm feeling, and
Yeah.
that was one of those moments that I was like, this is fun for me.
It is like I literally have it highlighted, and I put nothing
Yeah.
safe is worth the drive with the heart underneath, because it's if there's no risk in life, I don't think it's worth the journey.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and it's so true.
yeah, I was like, okay, this is definitely, I remember vividly discussing treacherous, the tattoo. And so to me, I was like, wait, was that? And then there was like a white horse moment, getting clean, you know, and I also made
Oh,
note of like Ready or Not.
yeah. I mean, yes, wait, I don't know if I know the White Horse moment though. That was for sure. I do love that song though. And I
Yeah.
actually do kind of think it's very Genevieve coded.
Absolutely.
So that's fun.
Where is it? I literally highlighted everything. Oh, there was like casual cruelness.
Coincidence.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like,
You know,
someone with a white horse would ever come to save her.
oh,
Yeah, she'd
oh
long
my
given up
goodness.
hope that someone with a white horse would ever come to save her. And so I was
See,
like,
that's so funny. I didn't even connect that at the time.
yeah,
Although, it's so funny because there are some things I don't listen to very
totally.
often, like Fearless is one of them.
Yeah.
But again, that woman is baked into my entire personality. So it's just
Yeah.
sort of, it's like interesting how certain things come out sometimes.
Yes.
But yeah, I do love tiny little Easter eggs, and sort of like the only people who pick up on them are the ones who are also like very well versed
Yes.
in the discography.
You know, it's fine. We love it. All right, Hannah.
All right, spoiler territory.
Hannah's so excited.
So excited.
Now we can
And-
really get to it.
We can.
Yes. And this segment, inspired by one of my favorite reality shows out there, Love Island. This week, a hot new Shadowdaddy enters the villa.
So
Yeah.
we're talking about spoilers. If you haven't caught that on, right now we're talking about spoilers. If you haven't read Enchantra, pause it now, go read it, come back, and then listen, because we're starting off strong.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Let's start with the one and only Rowington, because
Oh, this man.
yeah,
Kaylie, this man.
the lip ring,
the other ring.
The
other ring.
the other ring,
The tattoos.
the tattoos,
the forest scene.
You know what's so funny? I wrote that forest scene and I knew instantly. I was like, this is this book's blood rain scene.
Yes.
Like
Yes. Yep.
for sure. I don't know what possessed me, by the way, because that was like not into. So actually, the mirror aspect of this book
Yes.
was one of the very last things we added. Like
Interesting.
there's the process of it. The process of this book was so wild. I'm not gonna lie. If someone could have seen all the meetings and like how everything happened, I rewrote giant chunks of it before we went to print with both of my editors
Yeah.
because I was not happy with it yet. And there's sort of like I've been calling it like a algorithmic inevitability that this book is going to disappoint someone. That's just like sort of
Yeah.
what happens when you have something that's like very highly anticipated. Like no one was waiting for Phantasma, so it's like that one kind of gets off, but now everyone has their eyes on this book.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I need it to be in a place where at least I feel very, very good about the story and I like it.
Mhm.
And so we went through a lot of pretty dramatic rewrites at the end. There was a point where I was like, there just needs to be slightly more tension and like trying to figure out where that could come from.
Yeah.
And we sort of were like, what if the mirrors were literal looking glasses, like portals? And there was sort of like this exhibitionist aspect
Yeah.
to their relationship, both like metaphorically, but also like actually, like they're
Yeah.
actually being watched.
Mhm.
And I just like the way those two things sort of like coincided with each other. And so we went back to the forest scene, which was already, that is the one place in the book that was already full of mirrors, and I was just like, oh,
Oh.
here we go.
That
I was
scene
like,
had a literal chokehold on me. I was like sitting there and I'm like, oh my, like I can't wait for people to read this. Like I can't wait for other people to be so horribly affected by this. Like I am.
I know Britt texts me and she's like, "Please don't get pregnant again, Hannah. We can't do this right now."
No, literally I was like,
please.
I can't handle that.
I'm dying. No, for sure. I have to say, like, I mean, I don't know how it will affect
Yeah.
the general audience or whatnot, but I have to say, I had to take a break while writing it because it was just like, damn.
Yeah. And I think too, what I loved, and I didn't write this down, but I figured we'd talk about it, like Genevieve being plus sized and fully celebrated for her body was like, oh my God, one of my absolute favorite things from the beginning, when it was just like her ample curves like couldn't fit through the doorway and just like little things that
Europe.
like yeah. And like as someone who lives in a bigger body too, like seeing that representation is so important, but especially in the romantic scenes. Like I think that it takes away such a stigma about bodies to celebrate them and like in Rowan's case, like quite literally worship it, like just in such a positive way.
Yeah, it's so funny because I think people are like, "Oh my God, there's a plus size female main character here," or they don't know how I'm going to do it, so they're like waiting to see. But my first series had a plus size main character,
Yeah.
and I feel very passionate about the fact that like I do not think about myself in that aspect until it's like in a negative way by the outside environment around me, which is so ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I okay, this is a weird tangent,
No,
but I love fashion
yeah.
so much and I am so good. I have gotten incredible at dressing myself and curating my closet and my pieces to the point where it's like I really hate this idea that like people might think I want to lose weight and I'm like the opposite. I'm healthy. I am in a very healthy body that does what I need it to do. And I like my wardrobe and would like to maintain and stay this way and just be like sort of loved and recognized in like the way I am. And so my main characters who are plus size, like I never wanted to make it like a this isn't about them finding their confidence or anything like Genevieve's already fully confident.
Yes.
She does not need that. Like that is not her journey. And I love romantasy where it's like we can just recognize that she is a plus size character who is being worshipped by her love interest without even a second thought. There's not a pause where it's like he's making a decision to be with a plus size woman.
Yeah.
That is not a thought that enters that man's head.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that was incredibly important to me too. And the whole mirror aspect of it is really exciting because again, fully facing a mirror, like she has the full confidence to do that. They're getting down and dirty. in front of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's for sure the takeaway I hope people have
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
really think so. And especially like her inner monologue is like, yeah, no, we're going to do it in front of all these people. Like, we're going to
Yeah.
do it. Like,
Mhm.
let them
She's like,
see
let's
the
go.
show. And like, I just love too how she like when she looks at herself in the mirror and like these stunning dresses and has this like visceral reaction of like basically she's like, I'm so fucking hot. Like that is
Oh
Genevieve.
yeah.
Like, and
Mhm.
I'm just obsessed with it.
And yeah, that's actually my favorite thing about her. That woman does not for a second not think that she's like, if I have one thing, it's my hotness. The marbles in my head, maybe not as much, but
Which is fine. It's fine.
Yep.
same girl. But yeah, no, and yeah, I love that about her character so much, and I think it's so interesting because Ophelia does not have that sort of self-confidence, and it's just
Mhm.
I really like playing with those sort of like the whatever weird societal standards we have.
Yeah,
I like sort of breaking those down in my books and sort of doing something a little different with them. So
it's so good.
Yeah. While we're on the topic, so Genevieve and Ophelia are quite opposite, like we were talking about. How is getting into Genevieve's head as opposed to writing Ophelia's?
yeah, well, so Ophelia was so natural to me. I feel like I'm most like her, just because being in her head is like being in my head. Her
Yeah.
OCD, her anxiety.
Mhm.
There's so many layers to her, but like that are just second nature. So writing Phantasma was very, very easy from her perspective. I feel like Genevieve sort of fought me the entire way. Like every time I was like, "We'll do this," she was like, no. And it was like it was very interesting finding her voice too because I knew I wanted her to grow and really feel like she had grown even from the time that Phantasma ends to when Enchantra begins.
Mhm.
And I'm also consciously, like always when I'm writing, the idea that people are very harsh on female main characters, especially if they deem them to be annoying or spoiled or unlikable. But the fact of the matter is, there's a certain amount of spoiledness or I don't want to call it arrogance, but there's something to Vivi that is just not what Ophelia was. And I knew that it could easily become misconstrued or kind of turn into a territory where people didn't like being in her head. And so I feel like writing the book from her perspective, it was just a constant balancing act of like making sure she's staying true to character,
Mhm.
but that she also has wants and needs and growth throughout her arc. So I mean, hopefully I achieved that, but we'll see what the consensus is at the
Yeah.
end. But she wasn't as naturally like coming to me, but I kind of like those characters because it really makes me work harder to get the voice right, and I think all that does is help with my craft for,
Yeah.
future things as
Mhm.
well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it was so fun being in a head where like she wasn't rampant with anxiety from like within herself, but it was the environment causing it rather than
Yes,
Ophelia, the environment being like anxiety inducing wasn't even a thought because she lived like with the terror inside of her own head.
Mhm.
So it was
exactly.
really cool to see like the juxtaposition between both of the girls.
Ah, you get me. Exactly.
I got you. So we'll dive into we talked a little bit about the family dynamics. So the Silvers, the giant family of the Ingingtons, whatever we want to call them. So how was it writing the dynamics of the family? How did you decide on their names? I thought it was hilarious that Genevieve pointed out that their names low-key sucked. Uh,
Absolutely ridiculous. I knew immediately that's kind of what I wanted.
yes.
And I was like, oh, she's going to make fun of this like relentlessly. They will never, never live down those names.
Right.
Yeah, the sibling dynamics was so interesting. I did so much research. I actually have a couple of friends who are one of seven
Oh wow.
siblings,
Oh
like,
Yeah.
wow.
which is like wild. My growing up experience is very weird. I'm technically an only child,
Mhm.
but I'm also technically not. My mom had my little sister when I was 18 and already going to college.
Mhm.
So it's like I was not raised with a sibling. However, I do have one now. So
Yeah.
like I don't have like the same sort of authentic sibling dynamic like that the Silvers do have in this book. So I wanted to make sure I got it right. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of texting my friends to make sure things felt real. But
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure every single character had their own wants, needs, and place in the family. And like when you have such history with people, I knew that that was going to have to come out like really clearly as well, that they all have kind of a different history with each other, even though they've all been stuck with each other
Mm-hmm.
for the last few centuries, and also making sure they all had unique personalities, because keeping track of 7 people, 7 new characters,
Yeah.
is not an easy ordeal. So I really wanted to make sure that was also very distinct. But yeah, as far as the names go, I knew Barrington's name. I knew I kind of wanted Genevieve's love interest to be called Rowan, but I was like, it needs to be something more obnoxious than that. Because he's such a brat, if I'm totally, they're both brats in very different ways, in my opinion.
Such bratty
Um,
energy.
and so I was just like, God, I need to give her something to make fun of this man for. And so I was like, Rowington is just an absolutely ridiculous name. And then if I wanted to take it the extra mile, I just made all of them have that suffix. Like
Loved it.
they all have to suffer. So I went through a few. Ellen's name changed several times until I decided on hers. Remy's was always the same. And then I think like when it came to like I really wanted Grave to be called Grave.
Yeah.
And I really wanted Coven to be called Coven.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I sort of like named those nicknames first and then just made it fit in with the families.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really fun for me actually.
I love that. Do you have a favorite sibling? Obviously, we love our Shadowdaddy, but outside of Rowan?
I love Seven. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody, I know that.
So do we.
Yeah.
So do we.
I love Rowan. It's so funny. He's definitely the most pragmatic, and I think he's very romantic actually, and I enjoy him so much. But Seven genuinely makes me laugh. Like
Yes.
every time I think about him, he's so funny.
Yes.
So
No, I had a blast with Seven.
Yes,
I also
did.
love Ellen though, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think she has a really difficult role in the family.
Mhm.
And I really, really did enjoy getting to know her personality throughout it, and like hope for future things for her too, because
Yeah.
I think she's great.
And I think it did even like I grew to like Ellen quite a bit too, because at the end when Rowan becomes the hunter and he takes out
Mhm.
Ellen, like I was like, oh, that's gonna hurt, especially because we had already been taken to hell and saw what happens when you get stabbed by the hunting knife, and like
Mhm.
I
Right.
felt for her in that moment. Even
Yeah.
though it was complicated, because I'm like, dude, she gotta die. Like, unfortunately, that is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it's that is actually really like perceptive of you too, because I feel like it was very intentional for me to show Seven, especially to show it on Seven, who everyone loves so much, to see him in pain,
Mhm.
and then do that right before you know that's going to happen to Ellen.
Mhm.
So like that, it's just kind of like that psychological warfare moment
Yes.
of being like
Mhm.
you don't want it to happen, but also in order to root for Genevieve, they have to die.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
you can't get around it. So
Yeah.
yeah, quite a
So-
balancing act.
Totally.
Yeah. So going into the hunt, did you have like a favorite part to write with it?
I think for the hunt, this book is so different in a lot of ways, because when Ophelia is doing the trials in Phantasma, they're very like hands-on. I mean, mental and physical, but like she's really in those trials. Whereas I really wanted to juxtapose that with these, where it's like Genevieve is really playing like a more of a psychological relationship game, I think, than anything, right? Like there's a physical aspect to these trials as well. She definitely has to survive them. But I really enjoyed the fact that they had so much time to just talk and get to know each other.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
hide and go seek in general, it's kind of a boring solitary game.
Mhm.
And so I knew that was going to be a very unique facet of this book and challenge, to make sure that those lulls in the game were not boring and they kept the pace, but that they also kept the tension
Mhm.
of like technically they could be found and killed at any moment. So I really liked those in between bits.
Mhm.
I really loved everything with Genevieve and Grave. Like particularly very fun to write, because both of them were equally as stubborn, and I think both of them had a certain level of respect for each other that
Mhm.
made their relationship dynamic interesting to me.
Yeah.
because Grave very much respected when he like offered for her to close her eyes
Mhm.
and she said no. Like there's a moment, like a small second of him being like, I mean, like, yeah, mad respect for you for doing this. I'm still gonna kill you,
Yeah.
but
Like you gotta go. But
yeah,
yeah, and I love how she talked herself out of so many things too, because that's such like that is such a skill to be able to like distract
yeah.
people enough by like just yapping at them.
Mm-hmm.
No, and she's such a yapper. It's like those sort of things I think like when I'm writing these books and these moments of like really how is each of these characters like why are they the right ones to be in these situations? And
Mhm.
this particular thing is like, yeah, Genevieve of course will be talking herself out of things.
Yeah.
There's that moment with Ellen too, where Ellen's just kind of like giving in for a second and then Ellen's like, okay, we can't do this anymore. You have to stop talking.
Like you got to step. I love the right person at the right time too, because when Coven walked in on Rowan and Genevieve behind the thing,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Shit! Like I'm stuck here with you now. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
why?"
Yeah, he's like, why me? What have I done? What is this karma? Um, yeah, actually, you know what? I really, really loved that scene.
Mhm.
Like the entire ordeal of that scene. Him and Genevieve like playing tic-tac-toe
Yeah.
and um Kevin being like, if you say one more thing, I'm like going to beat the shit out of you. Um, and then just the dynamic, like I feel like that scene got to show off like a wide range of things. Ellen and Coven had their sort of like showdown moment, and
Yeah.
there's this
Mm-hmm.
one line in that scene that is actually my editor's favorite. Like every time he went through the book, he would highlight it and be like, "Do not cut." Um, and I was like, I love when I get those little bits. Like I really nail them because it feels really nice.
Yeah.
So.
But okay, I did have a personal question. Did you happen to have a stuffy named Mr. Daisy that got thrown into the Mississippi by chance? Was that done from personal experience? Because it felt personal.
I didn't have a stuffy named Mr. Daisy, but I did have a stuffy that like I don't know if it had a name or not that I had to give up.
Mhm.
It was like an emotional crutch,
Yeah.
and it's so funny because growing up we had this. This is a tangent,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
sorry everyone. We had horses next door because I live in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana.
Mhm.
Okay, there are horses,
Yeah.
and because I refused to do things without this stuffy, my mom was like, "But the horses need it more than you, so like you should give it to the horses." And so she could like kindly break me of this habit of
Yeah.
having to have this
Yeah.
stuffed animal everywhere. So I like gave it to the horses
That's adorable.
next door. Yeah. And so I was just kind of when I was doing this, I was like, oh, you know what? This is like the perfect sort of like ploy. I think it's really funny. I also love the moment of Grave being like, what kind of psychopath makes up a stuffed animal? Like
Right.
he's trying to actively murder her, but
Yeah.
she is
It's
the
like,
crazy one.
yes. No, I love it.
And then this was a thought we had like after when we were discussing
Mhm.
Enchantra and Phantasma, but like the significance of like the true name of the devils,
Yeah.
because like Genevieve remembers Salem's now,
Mhm.
and like can it be used against the devils? Like we were trying to remember like
Like
is
I went
Blackwell his true name?
Yes, I went back
I
into
don't know.
Phantasma and I was like searching for like true names and
Yeah, it's that scene of him with the king in the flashback
Mhm.
where the king calls him Blackwell,
Yeah.
and there's this sort of like basically the only person he told his true name to, which is Blackwell,
Mhm.
was to Angel, and after so much torture, she finally kind of gave it up, which is why he was able to tie him to Phantasma, right?
Yep.
So
Okay.
it's sort of yeah, so Blackwell is his true name.
Yeah.
His like given name. I know I do get questions about this quite a lot actually. The way I explain it to people, it's that sort of like fae folklore, like the fair folk magic, right? You are not given your true name, you were just born knowing it, and it has like a
Yep.
certain power over you. So Blackwell's is that his real just whole name is Salamastris Erasmus.
Okay.
That's like his given name by his father.
Yeah.
But yeah, because
With
she
Knox. Yeah.
yeah, it's because she got all of her memories back from that ring, which I won't go into too many details of if the king knew what he was doing with that or not. But
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, she is now the only person who knows it, aside from Salem himself,
Mhm.
and that'll be an interesting situation later on, I imagine. So
I am very interested because when I tell you this was a book though that we immediately were like, okay, well, what about this? And what about this? And what do you think is going to come back here? And what are we doing here? And like,
I know. And I was like, we got to reread Phantasma. Like, it's been so long.
I know. I think I'm going
No,
to
I
do
know.
like audiobook back to back. I think I'm going to re-listen to Phantasma and then listen to Enchantra since we read it, like just to get re-immersed into it.
I do. I love the audiobooks, I have to say. Like,
hmm
they're so well done. I even listen to them sometimes and I'm like, wow.
Look at this. Look at this world. It has to be so weird though, because like you obviously like the world that you built, because like you
Mhm.
are the creator and the constructor of the world. But at the same time,
Yeah.
too, like this is now like in the hands of the public. And I'm sure there's like a certain level of like disconnect that you have to require yourself to have from some of it to like manage.
Yeah, I think it's this sort of idea that like I've always said that I don't think artists get to pick their magnum opus. I think consumers of art, that is their pick. And so I think sometimes it's like I love Phantasma so much for so many reasons. It's the reason I can get to continue writing books and I can be a full-time author.
hmm
But there's like also a constant fear that it's like I will never be able to top it.
hmm
And that is a weird relationship to have with something that you've created yourself and love so much.
Yeah.
It's like not really having control over how people interpret it or like where it goes or if they ever think that you measure up to that piece of work again.
Yeah.
So I feel like after I sort of like send something off into the world, I really do kind of close myself off to it. Like, I'm really excited. I'm still so proud of it. But if I'm honest, I don't really think about Phantasma or Enchantra much anymore. Like, I have other projects that need my full attention to make sure that they get the same amount of creative effort from me as those books did,
Totally.
whether they do as well or not. Like, I want to make sure every single project feels like at least I put my whole self into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's honestly this whole thing is just a very strange experience. Like
Yeah.
when something goes like big, it's like, oh,
Like, wait a minute, hold on. I wasn't
yeah,
ready.
like it's not mine anymore at all.
Yeah.
My relationship with it is fully separated from I think the public's relationship with it. So yeah, I kind of just I'm like, hey, here was my intention, but like if you didn't get that from it, that's also very valid, like for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Are we ready to enter Enchantra? Talk a little bit about the hunt specifically and everything that went into it.
Woo.
So we did this with Phantasma too, and I thought it was a lot of fun. So realistically, guys, like we're in the hunt. We're tied to Rowan just for continuity's sake. Like we do get a Shadowdaddy out of this. But how far do we make it?
I genuinely think I would have been fine. Maybe not against Grave. Like if Grave was still the first hunter,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that might have been tough. I'm kind of a baby, but I feel like I could vamp as much as her. So I feel like I kind of probably would have made it until the halfway point. I think farther than Phantasma for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Same here.
But there's a point that I would just be really over the running.
I was gonna say like the cardio I feel like would just be because like this place is massive. Okay. There's a
Yeah.
lot of rooms, there's a lot of doors.
hmm
I don't know. I feel like because with Phantasma, I was like, would I have even entered? Probably not. Like at the first sign of trouble,
No.
I would have dipped. I would have been like, I'm out.
Same.
I'm forfeiting. Goodbye. With this, I do think maybe around I could probably make it. Like at least I'll
Yeah.
give myself one.
Yeah, we definitely would have gotten through the masquerade ball, which is the part I would have cared about anyway.
Yeah. Like,
So-
Yeah.
okay, that masquerade ball was crazy. I was like, Hannah, this is like Lust Round on steroids. Like this
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
crazy.
And it's funny because that's not even like it gets so much weirder in book 3, the stuff that goes on. And I I put a lot of Easter eggs in the masquerade ball
Mhm.
for the future books, which is incredibly fun for me. But yeah, we would have had a grand time. And then slowly would have like descended into madness after. I think
Yeah.
the piranhas would have absolutely been my
Mhm.
I would, to be fair, that little fox would have had to die. I'm sorry, baby girl.
I mean,
Would not have
okay,
been.
Yeah.
but to be fair, you did say the fox almost did die. So-
Well, you know what? The first draft, she was dead. It was a whole plot situation.
listen,
Um,
I
We
was
were
freaking out. I'm like, can a familiar die? I gotta.
That's when Hannah was DMing you, and she's like, Britt, don't check the DMs. I don't think you're that far yet.
Yeah. No, it's true. My editor genuinely was like, "Hey, if this is what's best for the book, we'll keep it." But he was like, "Let's like, why are we doing this?" And he was right. Like it wasn't like a necessary situation, and actually keeping her alive led to a different sort of plot device at the end that worked much better and was correct for the story.
Yeah.
But there was a very, very sad moment where Umbra died, and I did feel terrible because I love her too.
Side note, I love all the familiars' names.
Thank you.
Lilith, Dante, Umbra. They were great.
Satan.
Mm-hmm. They were all
So
great.
good.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
What do we think? Would we have gotten like a bet from Nox's spectators? Like what would they have crowned us? Because for me personally, they would have been like first eliminated.
First eliminated.
She's gone.
Same.
Unfortunately, yep.
Oh, 1,000%. I'm so gone.
Yeah.
Or like I feel like first hunter is a pretty like whatever sort of bet.
Yeah.
That's like a consolation prize, you know? It's random.
Yeah. So like
So
there's a chance that they could have gotten it. They would have taken one look at me and been like, "Oh, that bitch is going. She's going down."
oh yeah, same. I would have barely been able to like walk in Genevieve's dresses, I fear.
Yeah.
So they would have been like, "Oh, that girl's it's over."
Yeah. I mean, in those dresses too, we can like the art that you had commissioned of them, first of all, stunning. Absolutely stunning. But like the detail, that was one thing that because in Phantasma too, we were really thrown into like the gothic imagery. There was a lot of the blacks and the reds. And here, like I highlighted a few things about like the shimmering stars and like just all of the sweeping, colorful details. And just, it was just like, I felt like I was in the villa. I'm so glad I was not in the villa, but it felt like I was there.
I'm so glad. Yeah. I mean, that's like one of my favorite things ever is like the details of a world and like immersing myself into it when I'm writing it. I really feel like I need to be grounded in order to see how these characters are moving through it. So
Yeah.
I love describing their clothes, and I also think it's like it's what makes Ophelia and Genevieve like their characters too. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, Genevieve and her very pretty dresses were one of my favorite things for sure.
One thing I do want to know is how many games are there in the hunt?
I feel like I could have. I mean, I might have come up with a few extra ones. I tend to do that. Same with the trials, just to like sort of do more like a process of elimination, like what fits best
Totally.
here, what fits best there. Sometimes things are just like strictly made up for the use I need them to be though. Like two birds, one stone, like Ellen's round. I needed the three of them to be kept together, so I contrived that game specifically for that round.
Yeah.
But I mean, technically there could be like so many different versions, right? Like of hide and go seek. I mean, I know like growing up, we had one like called Peas in a Pod that was really fun, and it's where it's like the hunter, if he finds you, you join their team to find the others. And I was like, I loved playing that, but that doesn't work for this book.
Yes, totally.
So yeah, so it's just like, I mean, there were like so many things that I was like, I could definitely come up with, but definitely pared them down to the most strategic ones.
Yeah. Is there one that you would have chosen if you were picked as the hunter?
I feel like solitary confinement that one was very advantageous and logical in my opinion, because then I'm like, everyone's a sitting duck.
Yeah.
There's no running. You check a room and they cannot escape the room.
Yep.
Unless you're, a very specific circumstance like Genevieve ended up in, luckily figured out, because otherwise they would have just been stuck in there with Seven and Dante, right? I feel like that would be my strategy, because I do not want to be like Grave. Good for him. I was not good. I would not be chasing someone all around that house. There's no way.
No. No. I was so stressed during the moving rooms. Like I was so like, because every time they had to shift, I was like, please, help. But I do think
that's a rough one.
Yeah, there was a good balance of tension though, because there was a lot of downtime, but I was always waiting. Like I was always like, there's an edge of something as I'm reading, because I'm like, this is too good to be true. They're too happy right now. There's too much shit happening.
I know, and then you have the identical twin aspect, which
Mhm.
was a small blip, but I enjoyed using it that one little time.
Yeah.
I wanted to give Genevieve the taste of what it would be like to rip that ring out of.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that she could catalog him so well so quickly. Like she just
Mhm.
inherently knew Rowan and she was like, this is not Rowan. This is Remy. Like this is
Yeah,
absolutely not my Rowan.
that was definitely I know because I talked extensively with my editor about that
Mhm.
because I was like, I wonder if people are going to be like, oh, how did she know him so well or whatnot? But to me, it was like a very important part of her character. It's not even that necessarily that she knew Rowan so well at that moment,
Yeah.
is that she pays
Attention.
attention
Mhm.
so well, which is a very big part of her character. And so, like, again, that was sort of a moment that I was like, this makes sense to push her character along and their relationship even. So I love just like moments that you don't think twice about, but they
Yeah.
have like their own little purpose in there.
Yeah.
All right. And back to familiars real quick. If you had an animal familiar, what would it be?
I would love a fox. I'm serious. I think that
Yeah.
would be, they're like the perfect size. I could put them in like one of those baby Bjorn wraps on my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just like take it around with me. I genuinely feel like I would pick a fox. So,
I love that.
what
Hannah,
about y'all?
okay. Hannah, I think knows mine, but Hannah, what would you pick?
I think it would be a black cat. Like just
Ooh,
like curl up by my feet and
Hmm.
like just
yeah.
slink around, but like also like smaller than
Yeah.
a lot of the big cats.
Um, I fear my familiar would not be helpful at all because I would absolutely be picking a raccoon. I would have like I have like
Little trash panda.
a little trash.
Oh,
Like I love raccoons. I vibe with them so hard. I feel like
I
I
love a
am one
raccoon.
with them. But
Yeah.
it would probably be a little too chunky and it would probably not be as sly. But that would be my best friend.
I get it. To be honest, like if I was choosing like from the bottom of my heart, it would be like a pigeon. But that has to be the most useless choice on planet Earth. So I'm like, I feel like advantageously I would choose a fox, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But at
Yeah.
least like raccoons can like hold things and they have like little
Oh,
claws and
they
Yeah.
also they wash their little
yeah,
hands like
it's
before they eat. I love them.
so cute.
Amazing.
Obsessed. So like
Yeah.
not entirely useless, probably not my best pick, but I don't think that like life would allow me to have anything else.
Yeah.
And then last question about like Enchantra as a whole. I was wondering about this too because I was like, what would I pick? But if you got to go into Knox's trove and you had to pick like an item, obviously we had like a hint of what he had, but is there something that like you conjured up that you feel like you would be attached to, or like anything in the world basically that he had in there?
I feel like I would have chosen something that either let me teleport or froze time for
Oh
like
yeah.
a certain amount of time.
Hmm.
Actually, when I was configuring items for his trove, one of them has ended up in another project of mine because I
Ooh.
love the idea and it immediately clicked. It made something else in that other project click for me, and so I was like, oh, let me take it and make sure it goes there. But yeah, I think probably something like that, like something very practically useful, but
Hmm.
like also had to have magic, like unlike Coven, who like got a potion to make like his dick bigger.
Which like I love these siblings. Like they're so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like it's absolutely, and it's sort of this. I love details like that too because it just shows you how like frivolous they were. They think they're stuck there forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they were picking stuff that was just so absolutely
Yeah.
frivolous and ridiculous. Meanwhile, Genevieve is in there, and it has to be the most stressful moment of her entire life of like trying to conceive of what might actually be
Yeah.
useful for them. So
I know. And especially like with her ties to being like, how can I also help their mom? Like, how can I help Rowan's mom? And how can I do this? And like, I felt like she was trying to do the greatest good, but I love just how aware she is that there's always a catch when it comes to devils, when it comes to like
Mm-hmm.
there's always like something undercutting it.
hmm exactly.
Hmm.
And that also I feel like shows her growth and like how much she's paid attention
Yeah.
since Phantasma as well, which was also the intention there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I just love Genevieve and Rowan. We're going to talk a little bit more about what's next, but do you have anything else that you want to, say about Enchantra or anything like that before we talk about what's to come?
I mean, no, I think we covered most of it.
Yeah.
I just really hope everyone has fun. I think I think this is like one of those situations that's like, for me, it's more fun not to directly compare
Yeah.
to its predecessor, like to go in knowing that they're
Yes.
like definitely not carbon copies of each other, but I really
Mhm.
hope everyone sort of finds like their own sort of fun in each one. Because I love them both differently and I'm really excited. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It was great. The Ready or Not homage was amazing too. And if you're still listening and you have not seen Ready or Not, I don't know why you also didn't pause to go watch that. Like I'm a little confused. Um
That's your homework.
that is your homework. The dumbwaiter scene, that was the last one too. I was like, oh, the
Oh,
dumbwaiter felt very like, when the was it the maid gets like crunched in it, and
yes.
I was like, oh no, not the dumbwaiter.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
there's so
No,
many
I know.
fun
I
little
was like,
details.
yeah, I was like, I hope this makes everyone so stressed when he tells her to get in there. That was my, that's what I mean. I'm like, I love doing things that it's like, if you know, or like you've experienced the references,
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
adds to the atmosphere of what's
Yes.
going on. Yeah.
Love it.
Should we talk about our songs now before we go into what's
Oh
next?
yeah.
So we stay on the
Yeah, we'll stay on the Enchantra
Enchantra
train.
train.
Yep. All right. Hannah, do we want to talk about Stockholm syndrome first real quick? Because like we gotta.
And then we can go in. Yes.
Yeah. Hannah and I normally don't discuss our songs, but for this one we did, just because we were like, okay, we need to make sure, one, that we're not picking, the exact same one. But then as soon as the song came up, we were like, but who's getting this one? So we decided it was going to be a joint effort.
Yeah.
Love that.
Because literally the first lyric is, "Who's that shadow holding me hostage?"
Yes.
I also have a very long history with One Direction, which is so funny. I was also there from the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
like Inception. And it's so funny because I diverged around the Red era
Mm-hmm.
because I chose Taylor in the divorce. Um, and
Fair.
so yeah, but it's like so funny because I forget how much of the lore and how many things I know, but
Mm-hmm.
Stockholm Syndrome is such an excellent choice.
And the line in here too, like, I know they'll be coming to find me soon, but I feel like I'm getting used to being held by you. Like,
Hmm.
okay, just the whole thing. Like, baby, look what you've done to me.
I use the light to guide me home,
Yes, that was the one.
but now
I
together we're
was,
alone.
yeah,
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, it just,
yeah,
the whole vibe of the song, the whole vibe of Stockholm Syndrome, we were like, this is absolutely their song. Oh, this one too, where he said, used to sing about being free, but now he's changed his mind.
yeah,
Like, I mean, at that point, Rowan was like, I'm in this for Genevieve at this point. Like, we'll figure our shit
yeah.
out.
There was definitely like a second where it's like he knew he could get everything he wanted, but it would be without her.
Hmm.
And he was like, sorry to everyone else, that doesn't really matter to me anymore.
Yeah.
And I love those little moments for a love interest to figure out like exactly how obsessed or like how far they're willing to go.
Yeah.
So
I love
I
that.
love this.
So many good
Love the
choices.
lyrics. Hmm.
And then do you want to talk about I Know Places?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is like instantly, especially with Umbra and stuff, the song that came to me, but it's like,
Yep.
they've got the cages, they've got the boxes, they're the hunters, we're the foxes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
sure. But also like I know places we won't be found and like places we can hide. I just feel like so much of that is indicative of Rowan, like
Yeah.
knowing that place like the back of his hand, but not really knowing himself
Mm-hmm.
or like I think nearly as well as the physical place. So he's like, I know places like we can hide, but I feel like he is so unable to hide his own feelings as well as he maybe thought he was.
Yeah.
Or like lock them away when it comes to Genevieve. So I just
Mm-hmm.
love the whole vibe of the song too. It's
Yeah.
something about it.
I did pick that for another book, so that was off the table for me. But it was definitely it's like, it's such a dramatic beat too. Like the build up to
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Or
Love it.
like I can hear them whisper as we pass by. It's a bad sign. Like just
Hmm.
being watched, the vultures
Mm-hmm.
circling.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then, I have Willow. Specifically the energy of the Eras Tour version.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't like the witchy remixes, but the Eras Tour witch vibes is the energy that I was feeling. But just like, I'm like the water when you shipwrecked in the night, rough on the surface, but you cut through like a knife, because Genevieve is a little bit like rough on the exterior. Um,
Yeah.
And even just the chorus, like the more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow, because that girl cannot follow orders to save her life. And anywhere Rowan went, she was going to find him. She was going to find him.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end, I'm begging you, I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. Like, I don't know. I just, the energy of it, but also for Genevieve too. Life was a willow and it bent right to your wind, but they count me out time and time again.
That specifically, I think, is so, yeah, so her character and like constantly being underestimated, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last thing too is just the little like wait for the signal and I'll meet you after dark. Like all of their
Yeah.
things. Show me the places where the others gave you scars, because I feel like they do open up emotionally. But now this is an open shut case. I guess I should have known from the look on your face. Every bait and switch was a work of art, specifically regarding the bait and switch at the end. Because when that happened, I was like,
Yeah.
I in my notes, I was like, no, 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 no. I trust Kaylie and I know this is gonna be fine, but in the moment I'm panicking.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny because I haven't really gotten to talk to anyone about the end of the book or how
Oh yeah.
that worked. But I was like, I wonder if this was stressful or if everyone was just like, it'll be fine. It was stressful for me to
Yeah.
like put together, I'll say.
Uh,
Um,
Kaylie, when she woke up
I was
without
stressed.
memories, I was like, no.
mm,
I was bawling.
Like,
I literally was bawling.
she sent me a picture of her sobbing with her
also,
her Kindle and was like, please
I'm
read
so sorry.
faster.
Yeah, it's so funny. The whole amnesia trope is rough.
Yeah.
It is, however, one of my favorites. And I didn't realize that that is where this was going until that final bait and switch was planned.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh, she has to lose something. Also, they're still on this uneven ground. He's immortal and she's mortal. And I sort of wanted to do, again, it's like two sides of a coin
Hmm.
where Ophelia gained immortality.
Yep.
And so Genevieve, throughout the entire book, very much likes being mortal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I was just sort of like, in order to get them to this place, someone has to give up something.
Hmm.
And so I was like, well, goodbye to her memories. And also just knowing that Rowan is the type, he would have just waited in silence until she like saw him again,
Hmm.
which is what I kind of imagined he was doing in the first place, just waiting in silence until she found him again.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah. My when like she saw his face when they like ran into each other, and like,
mhm,
because Rowan's face through the entire time, you were very clear about how he has like a very like large amount of unreadability. He's very cold, he's very cool. But when she
mhm.
read something like a flash of like hurt or like disappointment across his face, like to have that happen, but she didn't know, but we knew, like just that like subtle little thing killed me.
See, this is why I love talking to y'all because I feel like you really do pick up on like all those little things. That was so intentional to show that like even when she forgot him, she had learned him so well over the course of their relationship
Hmm.
that for the first time she was able to like see beyond the mask.
Yes.
Mhm.
During a period of time where she literally had no memory of him, which is so different from like the first time
Yeah.
that she saw him.
Hmm.
And that is one of my favorite details that I wrote. It's sort of like in Phantasma, at the beginning, Ophelia sees Genevieve running up to who we later learn is Lucy and like hugs her. And Ophelia makes a note in her mind that like she doesn't know anyone well enough to like run up and hug them. And
Yep.
then later in Phantasma, she runs to Blackwell. And it's just like things that I feel like no one else ever notices or picks up on, but they make me so happy. So, yeah, that moment was like, I feel like I took so long from that sort of bait and switch reveal
Yeah.
to the end of the book was the most work I've done on like the entire book itself.
Yeah.
So I really just wanted it to be very clean and good. So,
No, it was. And that's
Yeah.
like, I think it's because we do talk about books so often now that we like are very keen on those details. And like those are the little things that I feel like you can just read for vibes. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I just go into a book to like read for vibes. And then there are books where I'm like so invested in it that I'm like every little detail, like when she first walked into the villa and like noticed the mirrors, and I was like, oh, the way that these are described, this is absolutely like super, super important and super critical. And
Mhm.
like all of the furniture being like looked like it hadn't been touched in God knows how long, just like those little things that obviously lend their hand to the story. And if you don't pick up on them, it doesn't like impact it, but it makes it better if you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
No, for sure. Oh,
So I ended up picking Sad, Beautiful, Tragic,
Yes.
which was also how I
also
described picking
excellent.
this song.
Yep.
Because my like runners up were also I Don't Want to Live Forever by Taylor Swift and Zayn.
Mhm.
Because
Fantastic.
it felt very much as like giving up immortality.
Hmm.
And then also Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Because
Yeah.
I feel like it's like Rowan coded. Like I picked, Ophelia for Phantasma that felt very like Blackwell, and it's like this one is. But I ended up with Sad, Beautiful, Tragic because it starts out long handwritten note deep in your pocket. Words how little they mean when they're a little too late. I stood right by the tracks, your face in a locket. So the soul lock, the notes that he wrote, all of that. It just feels like that moment in time of the book is this.
Yeah.
And just their, magic love, their beautiful, tragic love affair. And in dreams, I meet you in warm conversation. We both wake in lonely beds in different cities. And time is taking its sweet time erasing you. But like,
Yep.
really, it's
Mhm.
coming back.
Yep.
It's just the song is that moment in time for me. So I hope
Yeah.
that's how you feel too, Kaylie, that I picked a good song to represent that because
No, I love
it
actually.
just is that part for me.
It's like again, it's that thing where it's like it's so subconscious, but it's like so much of that bleeds into me all the time that like I'll look at a piece of my art and I'll see the other art that's like influenced it,
Mhm.
like or that has built me. And yeah, I mean, especially Taylor, but Sad, Beautiful, Tragic is like such a good pick for this.
Mhm.
Like, especially like the again, yeah, the erasing you, the you've got your demons and darling, they all look like me. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually
Yep.
my favorite lyric that she's ever written. It's one of my favorite things on the planet. I sort of referenced that a little bit in Phantasma actually. So, man,
Love that.
Yeah, I love
great
it.
choices.
What amazing. So we love Taylor. What a slay. Got a little One Direction in there. But to wrap things up, we mentioned it earlier. You have so many exciting projects coming out in these next couple of years here. We have
Yeah.
the Untitled third book in this series, in the Wicked Games series, which is currently slated for fall 2025. So this year, is that still on track?
I I think that's still the hope for
Okay.
sure. It's sort of like one of those things that like we slate something and we cross all of our fingers.
Yep.
But I definitely think like I try to give myself grace
Yeah.
because I'm like I am one little human and this has been like a whirlwind experience.
Yeah.
So it's like I really hope that I could get that to everybody at the end of this year sometimes, but if not, it's still gonna come
Yeah.
not too long after. So
Amazing. And then we have a fourth installment that's slated
mhm.
currently for 2026 in the fall. And now I know you said originally like we're slated for 4 and you would write like 9, 10 books in this world if you could. Do we have any
Yeah.
news? Like are we sitting at 4 right now still?
I don't have any news on that front, but I have the intention, which I feel like is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like as long as people continue to like them and
Mhm.
read them, I'll continue to write them, you know?
Amazing. And then we have the third and final installment coming up in your YA series. So Raging Heart is slated for this year too. Is that still
Yes.
correct as well?
July.
Oh,
Yep.
July. Beautiful.
And then your brand new
Wild.
trilogy too,
Which I'm
right?
so excited for. Yeah, we'll get to those eventually.
Mhm.
I actually have a really secret project that I have not announced or told anyone about that is sort of like in the mix here too that I'm like enormously excited for. But yeah, just I have a bunch of stuff up my sleeves. I have a bunch of like Wicked Games related announcements and stuff coming up too.
Yeah.
So just never-ending excitement to be honest. It's a shame that I'm in this profession because I suck at keeping secrets. Like I hate it. And my team's always like Kaylie Smith, I swear to God. So I'm being so good by not saying anything else, but a bunch of exciting stuff coming for sure.
We cannot wait.
So excited. Can you tell us anything about book 3? So we got a cameo from our fave Sinclair. We noticed that. We had his little
I
cameo
love
there.
him.
And then will there
Mhm.
be any more of the Silver family moving forward? What can we wiggle out, speaking of secrets?
I can't, I literally can't say anything, but I have told everyone, I think you could probably make a pretty good guess, like a very well educated guess.
Mhm.
about the next book.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm literally like, they're like lock and key. I can't say anything.
That's
It
okay.
does have a title though. I'm excited. So,
Oh, I
yeah.
can't wait. Huge thank you again to Kaylie Smith for joining us today. Be sure that you read Phantasma and Enchantra. If you got through this whole episode without reading them, I am concerned for your well-being, so I need you to go do that, please.
And Kaylie, where can everyone find you and support you?
You can find me mostly on Instagram and TikTok under Kale's Moon. And that's pretty much where I'm active these days. I do not have a Facebook. I've been impersonated quite a few times this
Mhm.
year, so just general disclaimer, I do not have a Facebook. But yeah, you can definitely, I feel like I'm the most active on Instagram for sure. And I love updating and giving sneak peeks over there. I do it all the time. But yeah,
When she's allowed.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
When she gets the green light.
Sometimes when I'm not, and then I just delete it in like 10 minutes, and I'm just like,
I'm going to turn on post notifications for you.
yeah,
Right? Just to be alerted anytime. I'm like, Kaylie posted. What is it?
yeah, yeah.
And then also give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok as well. Give us any of your book recommendations. We want to know what you're reading and what you want us to cover.
And remember, keep reading with kindness.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.